Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the news at noon. Here are the headlines. Lassa fever, Nigerians call for proactive measures to curb spread of disease. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo leads Nigeria's delegation to Economic Forum in Davos. On the foreign scene, George Weah sworn in as Liberia's 24th president. And in sports, Super Eagles desperate to avoid 2018 CHAN elimination. We'll bring you details in a moment. Reports say there is an outbreak of Lassa fever in Ondo State, with 10 persons infected by the deadly virus. Lassa fever is transmitted to humans through contact with food or household items contaminated with rodents' urine or feces. While confirming the outbreak of the epidemic, Chief Medical Director of Federal Medical Center, OWO, Dr. Liasu Ahmed, expressed displeasure that the state government was not showing enough commitment to contain Lassa fever in the area. He said the health workers at hospital were now working under the fear of contracting the epidemic. The recent deaths of medical practitioners as a result of a fresh outbreak of Lassa fever in Nigeria has raised concern across the country. In this interview, most people stressed the need for an improved personal and environmental hygiene in order to get rid of rats, especially from homes. They appealed to relevant governments to be serious about the welfare of health personnel and do the needful to avoid an impending calamity.
Be proactive in tackling most of the issues, because we are having a lot of issues now. Hospitals are not equipped, things are not upgraded. No, this government come into power to tackle most of the challenges, and this is one of them now, outbreak of diseases. So they should come in, equip the medical sector through the budget and other interventions so that some of these problems will come to an end.
We need to clean our environment. We need to be neat. Government have to do something. They have to supply us with the medical apparatus. Lassa fever is not like AIDS where they say there's no solution, so that you can avoid the spraying.
The individuals should make sure they keep their environments clean, do something to prevent all these rats.
Enlighten the nationals on how to safeguard oneself against. Number one is to be educated on what is Lassa fever, how does it spread, where does it come from, how can we control it, how can we ensure personal hygiene. So if that is done, I'm sure it will help us better.
Lassa fever symptoms include high-grade fever, joints and general body pains, weakness, bleeding from body openings, and renal failure. It will be recalled that there 3 medical doctors and a nurse have died of the disease in Ebonyi and Edo State, while 1 more case has been diagnosed in Kogi. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is leading Nigerian delegation to Davos, Switzerland for the 48th World Economic Forum annual meeting taking place from Tuesday to Friday. A statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Laolu Akande, said the vice president, who left the country earlier in the day, would be proceeding to Davos from Monrovia, where he had earlier witnessed the inauguration of George Weah as the new Liberian president. While in Davos, Osinbajo will hold a number of bilateral meetings with representatives of other countries, international business interests, and development partners. The Nigerian delegation at the World Economic Forum will include the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Enelama, and the Special Advisor on Economic Matters to the President, Adeyemi Dikpeolu. Some Nigerians have reacted to the report by security agencies in the country saying that the terrorist group Islamic State in West Africa network are operating within some north, central, and south sections of Nigeria. The reports say the group may be responsible for the recent killings recorded in Benue State and other parts of the country. Those who spoke with Human Rights Radio wondered why the Nigerian border continue to remain porous and allow foreigners come into the country without proper checks.
It surprised everybody for a government agency to come out to say that it is foreign terrorists, because it shouldn't have been. We have agencies at the border, immigration, we have the police and several other government agencies that should check the inflow of people coming in. So it surprises us. That means it's either they are not doing their job or there is something they are not telling us about what is happening.
We have enough of security agents in this Nigeria. If we are to checkmate our borders, we have enough security agents. We have the custom, immigration, police, the army, civil defense. We have them enough to do this work of security. We have to checkmate all our borders to avoid enemies coming into our good nation to spoil things for us. So if they should sit up and do their work, I don't think all this problem will continue.
The government is not doing it right, and this is not what the masses expected them to do. If the government were to be having interests of the people, they will have done something since. These people are not foreigners. How can they find their way to this country? If you don't know somebody's house, you cannot go to the person's house. It is somebody that knows a person's house that will go to the person's house. A thief does not enter into a compound. They must have someone who is behind. So this thing that is happening in this country, there's something beneath. We need to pray God to change the event, because man cannot do it. For the innocence of God have to intervene to save the people. They can put a stop. How can a man have gone more than the military? They have the ammunition. Everything is in their hands. They have the yam. They have the knife. So if they want to cut it, they cut it the way they like it.
That there was money President asked for so I can finally finish Boko Haram. I overheard the discussion on the television that the main reason why he asked for that money is because there are some terrorists that have been displaced from where they used to be. No work for them, and they are likely to enter Nigeria. The government be sincere. If there is no hidden agenda, everything government needs to handle the situation is in the hands of the government.
As the narrative on herdsmen-farmer clashes in Nigeria continue to take different shapes, the people are calling for sincere effort to put a permanent end to the problem. They called on the federal government's committee set up to address the protracted conflicts and bloodletting between herdsmen and farmers in the country to come up with resolutions to end the crisis.
I don't think it's an issue of committee, but what I will advise the committee is to go back, look at this proposal that has been suggested so that they find a way to bring this proposal into limelight and see how they can implement on it. It's not about even the committee, it's about implementing what has been suggested.
To the committee, if it's to end this thing, let the government put sentiment aside. Already people are pinned everywhere. Carve out places in the states where the herdsmen are coming from and let them have grazing fields for themselves there. That would be better, so that it will not be like infringing on other people's means of livelihood. I got to understand that we are not even in the top 10 countries that have cattle rearers like this. We are not even among the top 10. And so why should ours be different?
The best thing is for government to establish ranching for them. Colony, it won't help us as a nation. Follow what is obtainable all over the world. Even where they have the largest set of cows all over the world, it's ranching. They were doing it everywhere. Physiologically, if animals are walking about, they use part of the energy they use to build up their muscles and their body, wasting this energy while walking about.
The best method or methodology to follow is, since the governor of the state is there and the other members are cut across the state as governors, they should allow other stakeholders, like maybe people that are not in the position of governors, to be in the committee so that they can share their experience.
The committee is headed by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo. And now to our community report. The people of Kadokuchi of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, are asking for government intervention to enable them benefit from the dividends of democracy in Nigeria. When Human Rights Radio visited the community, the residents say they have not been very lucky. Kadokuchi is a suburb of Abuja Municipal Area Council located in Jai District, Abuja.
Electricity and water, those are the two major things we are lacking here in Kadokuchi, Jai, Abuja. The government can intervene, they should. I'm a hairstylist and always I'm needing electricity. I lose a lot of customers because of that. So if the government can intervene, at least we, the self-employed, can enjoy too.
Roads and lights, so that's the most important thing we are lacking, and even water. We buy water from all those outside that push wheelbarrows. So if government can help to solve all those problems to us, we'll be happy with them.
We don't have a good road, no stable lights, water. If government can intervene in these three things I've mentioned, at least we will enjoy.
We know we have a government that's supposed to consider all these things we are talking about. Water board is one of those things we needed because we buy water, we suffer every day. Look at the environment people are living. How can you be healthy? And they are not considering it for one day.
I sell frozen food here. In this community, Kadokuchi, light is not stable and is affecting our businesses. Right now, I need light for this my freezer. My things are almost getting spoiled. So light is a big issue. We need the road to be tarred. The dust is too much during this period. And also we need a good primary health care. The one here, not that they don't try, but it's not really functional. If you go into some area, it's very, very bad. We need drainage system. The drainage system in this Kadokuchi is bad.
The news at noon continues shortly. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Now on the foreign scene, football legend George Weah has been sworn in as the 24th president of the Republic of Liberia. Weah took his oath of office at exactly noon in Monrovia Monday. At least 8 African heads of states, including President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and international soccer stars, witnessed the ceremony. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, arrived in Monrovia on Monday morning for the swearing-in of Liberia's President-elect George Weah. In sports, Nigeria will be aiming to avoid elimination from the 2018 African Nations Championship CHAN tournament with victory over Equatorial Guinea in Agadir today. Later in the evening, the Super Eagles head into the clash on top of Group C with 4 points from 2 matches, and a second successive win will seal their place in the knockout stages of the continental showpiece, no matter the result between Rwanda and Libya in Tangier. Nigeria followed a goalless draw against the Amavubi with a narrow 1-0 win over 2014 CHAN champions Libya. Equatorial Guinea have endured a tough tournament in Morocco with a 3-0 defeat to Libya, followed by a 1-0 loss to Rwanda, as they duly suffered a premature exit from the competition. Well, that's it on the news, but before we go, here is a reminder of our top stories. On Lassa fever, we told you Nigerians call for proactive measures to curb spread of disease. We also told you Vice President Yemi Osinbajo leads Nigeria's delegation to Economic Forum in Davos. And on the foreign scene, George Weah sworn in as Liberia's 24th president. And finally in sports, Super Eagles desperate to avoid 2018 CHAN elimination. And that's the news at noon. Thank you very much for listening. Do stay with us. My name is Ruth Usman.